guys, I want to put this at the beginning of the video. This is part 7 of the Alpine ski. I ended the video and then I did a few more things and I started the video back up. So watch the video all the way through till the end so you can see where I'm at with this Alpine ski as far as changing the board out, the monitor chassis, and all that stuff. So make sure you guys watch to the end. It's a little bit of a longer video. It's about an hour and 20 minutes or so. But I just let the camera roll because I was doing a bunch of different things, swapping stuff around here and there. So I figured let's just let the camera roll so you guys can see exactly what's going on. So make sure you check that out and I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be part 7 of the Alpine ski. I'm not going to do a lot on this video. I got some parts in, so I want to see if we can get some sort of life out of this or not. Now, this top box is just a couple of power supplies for the Nintendo cabinet or the Tetris and the rope and jump or whatever, I don't know, whatever it's called. Rock and rope, that's it. This is a monitor chassis for that monitor that's in there. This is supposedly a working chassis. K7000. Fairly clean. I'll probably have to figure out how to mount it in there because clearly can't put the circuit board right on top of the metal. Okay. And then the bottom box is a PCB that he bought that supposedly the audio works but the video doesn't. So I don't really know if I'm going to be able to do anything with that or not by taking parts from the other PCB, or I don't know. Inflatable graphics issues. So maybe it does show video, just not correctly. Shrink wrapped it so damn well, can't get it off. Try not to cut anything. All right. Let's open up the back of the cabinet and look at the monitor. Maybe we can reuse the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hopefully that neck board's the same. Yep, same size neck board. Wish this door would stay open. Grab something to hold it. There we go. Maybe we can use that plastic case that is sitting in this whole chassis. Now, I'm not going to worry about discharging this. This has been off for about a week. So I personally don't worry about it. I mean, if you're obviously nervous about it, then, you know, discharge it. Actually, I didn't even need to disconnect that. So I need a Phillips and a 5/16 socket. All right, looks like it might fit. Nope. All right, let me see what I can come up with. I still got a styrofoam in here. Okay, I grabbed some of the plastic standoffs for PCBs, and we'll just put these on here. This will hold it up off of the metal nicely. Not gonna be able to put that one in because of that big capacitor, but the other three should be just fine. Does look like it's had a cap kit. All the caps match in color. Wonder if I can get one in here. Feel a little bit better if I had one in here. Even if it's a little crooked. But I don't know what's gonna be able to get it in there. It's not gonna go. Well, we'll mount it in there with the 3 for now and see what happens. it in reverse. Wonder why it wasn't going in. Gotta grab my stool. My back hurts. All right. Never had an anode cup this difficult before. What the hell? What the hell did these people do to this damn thing? Probably just yanked it real fast off. All right, now I gotta figure out where the neck ground goes. It's cut. But I am not seeing a wire. I don't think I have a K7000 out here to look at it. All right, this is ground here. And it already is grounded to there. I wonder if this is just an extra. I wonder if this is what they took to the, must be what they ran to here, to the side of the monitor chassis. It's not going to hurt anything because this wire right here is also going to the, it's going to the frame of the monitor, which is actually probably pretty good at the second wires here because this is going to the chassis, this ground. And then this ground is going to the frame of the monitor because we have plastic insulators between the two. So it probably is pretty wise to do that. Okay. So we have that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Remember I was messing with that. So we might have to grab another plug for this, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. For now, we can just wing it. Where is the power? Don't currently have a plug-in. All this stuff we'll do in the next video. Just want to see if this thing powers on. Okay. Grab the new PCB. All right, grab an extension cord, we'll plug it in, see what it does. Oh, must have the front interlock switch. I heard high voltage. Nothing on the monitor yet. See if we have some neck glow or not. Ouch. Can't tell if there's neck glow. A lot of static. The power supply is not turning on. Okay, what do I have wrong here? I don't know. Oh yeah, it's on. Power supply is on. Nothing. Okay, I got some static going on. Gonna kind of turn the screen up for a little bit. I think I went down with it. I don't know if I'm on the screen or the focus one. Did that turn brighter? Yes, that's brighter. For now, I don't care if it's a little messed up. I'll turn it off for a second and try swapping the signal. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, guys. Just want to see if it coins up first. Nope. Oh, you know what? I'm missing a plug on my PCB. Duh. PCB's not getting power. All right, round two. I heard it. See if it coins up now at least. Okay, so it's coining up. Okay. Freaking loud. Okay, so we have 0 video. Jesus, set up for like 18 players or 18 guys? What's going on here? Turn it off. I don't know that there's much I can do. I told the guy that. I personally wouldn't buy a broken board, but what do I know? I can only do what people want me to do, guys. I mean, do I just take the whole video board out of the other one and try swapping it first? I guess that's probably not a bad idea to start with that. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe the video board on this one works and we'll see what happens. At least we know the monitor comes on now. And if you're wondering, if you remember, we did all the tests on the yoke that's in there, and I came up with the conclusion that that K7 chassis would replace this Chinese chassis from whatever poker game this came out of. I don't know anybody that repairs those. You know, I looked at a bunch of stuff on it and I couldn't find anything. You know, it could be a resistor. It could be something stupid that I don't know anything about. There's no manuals or anything on those. So you really only so much you can do. Now, I don't know which board is the video board on this, to be honest with you. Kind of hoping I could figure it out. Well, the top one's sound, because I know it's sound because it says sound all along there. I'm hoping that we just swap the board and we get lucky. That would be awesome. Okay, so this is the sound board. We know that. So it's one of these two boards in here. I just know anytime I've tried to do this, it never worked out in my favor. I buy a board thinking I could fix it, and then I can't. And it just costs me more money. But it's just my luck, you know? I truly don't know. I don't know which board it is. And the problem, like with that board, it could be any one of all these chips that are soldered on here. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can't swap these out unless you take them all out, socket every single one, and then test them individually, which would take a good day, if not longer. I'm going to take a guess at it and say this is my video board. And I'm saying that because the Z80 right here. Okay, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is probably it. Making sure that's a 40 pin, because it doesn't technically say Z80. It says D780C-1, which I'm fairly confident that is a Z80. Yeah, because they're using one over here on the soundboard too. Okay, so I'm going to say this is the video board. So if we swap this board for that one, maybe we'll get lucky and it'll work. That would be really awesome if it does. If not, it could be on this board. It could be, you know, like I said, on this board. I mean, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7 is 14, 28, 35, 42, 49, plus all those. You're looking at 100 chips. So the only real way to do this, I mean, obviously, if I had to do this myself to try to troubleshoot this, I don't have the tools to troubleshoot a PCB like these guys that repair them, you know, where they can hook them up and start testing each chip. I personally would have to socket all these and then test each chip individually, you know, and still no guarantee. All right, so we're going to say that this is our video board. I wish it would say on here. That's all we can do is try. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. I would really like for it to work. I think that'd be awesome if it did. I guess I'd gain a little faith back in buying a partially working board at that point. But like I said, I don't have a lot of faith in it. Just from past experiences. I'll put this one back in because that other board was completely dead. So we're going to use that board over. This middle board is what we're going to change out. One thing I'm noticing off the bat is that has standoffs in the middle, and this one does not. Nor does it have holes drilled for it. Probably not very entertaining right now, but seriously. Okay, so this is the one we're going to swap. So this one doesn't have holes drilled in the middle like this one does, so I have to pop out those center standoffs on both boards. On both sides. That's weird. I don't know what to make of that. Maybe an older version versus a newer version. Okay. QQPP, you got to make sure you line up your letters, because plugging it in backwards is probably not good. So we have a Q and a Q. This one does not want to plug in good. What is the deal with this one? There we go. Okay, that's in. Now we can click these four on here. You guys crossing your fingers? I mean, I think that's the video board I swapped out, but once again, I don't know for sure. All right. Get this thing put back in here. Come on, work. And we got 0, zilch, nothing. Still coins up, which is good. Okay, so now let's put that other board in, I guess. What we can do is, let me just make sure we're getting signal. Make sure I don't have it on the wrong one. 'Cause you never know. Some action there. Same scrambled effect as we had last time. It's hard to see in here right now with the lights on. Okay, horizontal hold was off. Nothing still. Okay, powering down. Back to the bench. So we know it's still coined up, okay? So we really, unless there's video coming out of the soundboard, which I don't think so, we only have that other board to swap out, which would be the bottom board right here. We can leave that other one in because we saw no change. So I'm going to say the middle board is probably okay. I mean, I'm assuming. Doesn't mean that it is. You know what, maybe that is the video board, the bottom one. I mean, it does have power and ground going to it, 5 volts, so maybe I was wrong, and this bottom one is the video board. I'm sure any of you guys that know this stuff would know right off the top of your hand, but I don't know. I am definitely not a Tato board expert by any means. And pretty much nothing. Let me turn the lights off in here. Let's actually see if it coins up still. Because I don't even know if it coins up still. The screen's obviously way too bright. Okay, it's not coining up now. Okay, so that means that the bottom board is bad. That was on the other one. So out of curiosity, what about we put the other board back together, this board, together, using the bottom board from this one and the other two boards that were on the other one. Or the bottom. I'm getting confused. So far we've replaced the last two boards on that new stack that came. Okay, so clearly this board is what's making the sound work. Okay. We took this out thinking, well, I took it out thinking that this was the video board, which apparently it still might be, I don't know. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this one together. With these three boards and see what happens. And if this doesn't work, gonna be kind of at a loss. There's only a couple socketed chips I can change. So this one goes this way. I need my standoffs back. I was hoping it was just going to work. I feel like I'm messing with MCR boards. Okay, just out of curiosity, let's see what happens. So basically, these two boards on the bottom are from this new board stack. This top board is the only board. There are serial tags on there, so I should, in theory, be able to figure out what's what. Maybe the top board is video and audio. Don't know. And nothing. Let's see if it coins up. No coining. No coin action. Okay. Now, let's try to think here. I think the only other thing is this top board, right? Am I thinking clearly here? Yes. Oh, you know how else I can tell? Because those other boards only have 4 holes drilled in it versus 6. So yes, so basically this top board completes the stack of this one. So let's put this top board back on there, see if it coins up. So that's that. So that's from the old board. Okay, these are both the old boards. This top one is the old board. So this so this should be together from what came today. Now, what is this board here? Let's just plug it back in, make sure it coins up still, and then maybe we'll swap out that little board on top. One second. I heard the speaker thump. That's usually what it does when it wants to coin up. Okay, we got flashing. Interesting. Okay, we got coining up. Okay, so it's clearly working except for video. I mean, I can do some research on this and see. I just figured I'd go ahead and do a quick swap around and see what happens. Just want to stick this on here so I don't get it confused. All right, we can take this board off. So then it plugs in right here. So I need to swap it out of this one over here. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and take it off because I feel like trying to bend down. This one is a little differently mounted. Oh, it only has 2 mounting spots. And big 0. Just turn the lights off for a minute. Just gonna mess with that, those wires real quick. Sort of seeing something. Oh, all right. I'm seeing a little bit of something on there. A little bit of image. Okay, that's somewhat promising. I don't know, I can't really see everything on the screen. All right, we got some weird shit going on here. All right, nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing. Oh boy, look at this, guys. She's upside down. Would you look at that? We're getting somewhere. Okay, I think that's a dip switch setting. Could be in cocktail mode. Let's hit credit. Okay, looks like my monitor is inverted. The colors on the yoke wires. Still can't see anything. Okay, so I think we have the wires are in, possibly need flipped. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I believe so. But I also need to look at the dip switch settings. my old man chair over here. Alpine ski dip switch settings. Flip screen. Number 7 and dip switch bank 1 needs to be off. It is off. Or maybe off means flip screen. I don't know yet. I'm gonna look at this a little closer here. Cabinet needs to be upright. Okay, so number 8. Dip switch SA or SWA, number 8 needs to be on. Okay, it is off. So we'll flip 8 to on. Okay. Now in theory that should spin that around, but we still have a reversed image, which that's not a big deal. Sucks because you got to cut the stupid plug apart so you can flip the yoke wires. Actually, I wonder if I can pop the yoke wires out of that plug. Maybe. Oh, it's still upside down. She's still upside down. Let's see if it's still in cocktail mode. And how we're going to do that is put it on 2-player. Can't see anything. Okay, it's in cocktail mode still. On is cocktail mode on number 8. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I turned number 8 on. So number 8 needs to be off. Number 7, I think number 7 needs to be on. It's kind of confusing how they're saying this here. If you look here at the dip switch settings, I don't know if you can see them or not, but it says flip screen. I guess flip screen off would be flip screen, on would be non-flip screen, I'm thinking. Okay, yep, that's right now. Like I said, everything's gonna be backwards image-wise, and that is just the yoke wires. That's not that big a deal. That I'm not worried about. I'm not even gonna mess with it. I wanna figure out, like, what does the graphics? Like, is it that little board? Is that what's doing it? Just don't know. All right, I move that down. See, this should be all like blue and you know, white and blue looking. Let me look at the manual and see if it tells me what board does what. I was correct. Middle board is video board. Shit. It says right there, video PCB. So the middle board is definitely your video board because it's got both sets of ribbon cables permanently attached to it. So really the only things I can mess with are these chips right here. But something tells me it's one of these guys that are soldered in. And unfortunately, I don't have a way to test that. Is it worth swapping those chips? Probably not. I'm gonna probably end this video here. If you guys have a suggestion or maybe an idea of what it could be, let me know, because I think I might just be wasting my time trying to swap those couple chips. I think it's gonna be something other than that. It could be wrong. Like I said, I am no expert at all on these boards. So the top little board's the ROM board, sound board, video board's in the center, CPU is in the bottom. Now, could it not be the video board and it could be the CPU board? You know what I mean? Could be that too. Don't know. Ooh, that monitor's got a nice picture now. I just focused it in a little bit, but obviously the whole screen's black when it shouldn't be. But it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a nice monitor for sure. So this just goes to show that you can take a tube, a newer CRT tube, and put a older chassis on it. I just wish I could figure that out. I'm not even gonna mess with the yoke wires yet because I gotta think if it's the red and blue needs swapped or the yellow and green. So this would work perfectly if this were in a shooting game, okay? And it had a mirror, like Operation Wolf, for instance. This would be correct for Operation Wolf because once it reflected on the mirror, it would be normal. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this video. If anybody can chime in and tell me what your, anybody who knows this stuff could let me know what it could possibly be. I'm all ears, guys. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. This is part 7 of the Alpine ski, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, guys, the video is not over yet. So I did a little research. These chips right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the culprit chips that cause the background to be missing. Now, I didn't know which one it was, so I went ahead and switched all 6 of them over. I did the first one, it did nothing. And I said, screw it. I just put the other 5 in from the other board, the first board that wasn't working. So it is either, it's one of these 5 chips right here are bad, okay? So the game is working now, except the joystick is not moving right to left, okay? And it's only supposed to go right and left. It's only 2-way. It could be a wiring issue. It could be something else on the board still that I don't know yet, but I want to show you that it's working. I did flip the yoke wires. I thought it was going to be the red and blue, and it was actually the yellow and green. So I'm going to show you on here. Oh, I can't show you on here. Duh. The yoke wires are on there. But anyways, if you look here, you can only plug in the yoke wires one direction, okay? And that is because your red starts first, okay? It goes red, blue, I believe green, yellow. I could be backwards on the last 2. But the spacing between the red and blue are wider than the other 3. The other 3 are evenly spaced. The red's wider. So I cut the plug directly in the middle, okay? By cutting it directly in the middle, the plug itself, you can't accidentally take the red and blue and put it on these two terminals. If you take the red and blue off of here and you put it on these two terminals, you just screwed your whole thing up. Your whole chassis is screwed up. So you don't want to do that. I've seen people cut them into 4 individual wires. I don't do that because then you have a very good likelihood of screwing that up. So I first swapped the red and blue, and then the image was correct, but it was flipped upside down. So I put the red and blue back to normal, and then I took the green and yellow, flipped those two, and now we got the image in the right location, the right way. It looks good. Everything's working. The accelerator button's working, but the joystick is not working right now. I did take some sandpaper on the leaf switches and sanded them, thinking that maybe it just wasn't making contact, and we're still not getting anything going on with the joystick. Could be a ground wire, which I didn't even look at that, to be honest with you. Maybe it's not getting grounded, the leaf switches for the joystick. I know it's a little dark in here. I have it, a lot of the overhead lights off on purpose so we can see this thing. Also, there was a big chip in the monitor here, and I had some extra clear coat from painting, and I dipped some in there. It's almost filled in. I got to do a little bit more, and then I got to take a razor blade and scrape off the excess. But I mean, ground wires are going there, and they are soldered on. And they're looping to all the other buttons, so I'm going to say it's not that. It's got to be the yellow or brown wire. So the yellow and brown wire are the only two, or maybe it's purple. Brown. So it's the brown with black stripe and the yellow. Those are the 2 wires that move the joystick. So we have yellow and brown with a black stripe. Just gonna look over here real quick and see if that color makes it all the way through to here. Okay, we have our, looks like they're right here, I believe. Not positive on that yet. So that's really the only thing that's not working right now. And hopefully it's not something to do with the board and it's just something stupid with the wires. Let me turn it on at least. And here it comes. Got a little bit of bleeding in the color, so I'm going to say the contrast is a hair high, and the brightness might be a hair high because the black is not super black. Let's take our contrast down a hair. Let's take our brightness down a hair. See if that stops the bleeding of the colors. That looks a little bit better. So the accelerator button, that doesn't want to work either. So, oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's doing nothing. So we have no controls right now. My colors aren't right either. Let me mess with the colors for a minute. You're not really gonna be able to see it on the camera very well, but I got the colors about dialed in. The green was way too high, so I lowered the green. So neither the accelerator button or the joystick is working. Player 1 and player 2 start work. I thought the accelerator button was working at first, but if you don't do anything on the game, it starts taking off on its own. So I need to figure out what the deal is with the controls, but I am done for tonight. I'm just happy that it's mostly working. Just hoping it's something stupid with wiring, possibly. But that monitor looks like it's gonna be good. I'm not gonna mess with the chassis. That's my rule. If it looks good and it works, I don't mess with it. And speaking of that, the guy that I bought those monitors from, I forget his name, Jared maybe or something. He doesn't change flybacks if they work either. So I'm not the only one. People think I'm crazy because I do a cap kit or something and I don't change the flybacks. I don't change caps unless they need to be changed, guys. Why? The older components are probably 90% better than the new shit anyways. I mean, I've seen new flybacks fail within a couple weeks versus an old one that's 30, 40 years old. So don't screw with something if it works, you know what I mean? Just because there's people out there and say, oh, you got to do a cap kit. Oh, you got to do this. If it looks good, you don't need to. You know what I mean? Run it as long as you can. I need to look at the schematic and see. I don't know which set of wires here does the controls. I mean, could be something stupid. It could be very well board related still. I'm just not sure. But I gotta finish this video up because it's getting late. And I got stuff to do tomorrow. Just looking at how things are plugged in to make sure they're correct. They look all to be in the right spot. These are all V1s, R16, R15, or R16. Video is right here. I'm going to say that the controls are this last one right here. Pretty positive R16 are the controls. So that just makes you wonder. I mean, it still could be a wiring. I'm not going to rule it out. I'll get the multimeter. I'll check the ground wires going from the player 1 and player 2 start over to the joystick and over to the accelerator. Who knows? It could be something stupid like that. But we need to just start using the multimeter on the tone test, and we'll just start tracing wires and just making sure it's not a wiring issue before we start screwing with the board more than we already have. So, you know what? Let me try one more thing. I keep saying I'm going to end this video, but let's put this board back on. This is the board that came off of the broken one. Just real quick, it's a 2-minute thing here. Just so I can rule that last thing out in my head real quick while I'm sitting here looking at it, because if a day goes by or 2 days go by, I might even forget that I did this, that I switched this board over. So let's just do that real quick, just to make sure. Turn it on. I have to cut the overhead lights off because this game with these overhead LED lights really drowned out the screen. I might have to turn the brightness back up a little bit. Might still be a hair low. Yeah, it's a little low and the red's too high. Cut the red down a little bit because our white looks kind of pink. Oh, too blue. Now I think our blue is up high. not too bad. That looks a little better, I think. So I'm just gonna test these controls real quick, just trying to verify. Okay, nothing. Okay, well, at least I tried it. All right, guys, I am officially ending this video now. Hopefully this helps some of you guys out. I'm not, like I said, I've tried to do boards by taking parts and pieces from here and there, and I'm usually not that successful with it. So far, we'll call it 90% there, because obviously we don't have controls yet, but that could be wiring. So, all right, guys, that's ending part 7 now officially. So I'm gonna put a little thing at the beginning of the video so you guys continue to watch after I say it's over. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys later.